terrible sound. Okay, now that I feel clean, we can get started. What is up, you guys? Nicola Maserati here. I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope you are all staying safe, enjoying time, hanging out at home, hopefully with your families, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, your cats, your dogs, and Zooming people, FaceTiming people, and all that stuff. Hopefully a lot of you are taking advantage of the time that we do have to spend alone to be a little bit more creative, forcing all of us to be super creative. And as unfortunate as everything that's going on is, we got to take this opportunity to be creative and just flex those creative muscles, work out those creative muscles, and just get to it. But anyway, you guys, I've been getting a ton of requests about how I color graded my 4K to 1080 video. I've had a lot of people saying stuff like, please make a color grading video on how you did this. Why does this video look so good at 480p? Well, a big part of that is obviously color grading, but another big part of that is lighting, having my light set at the correct place, having nice soft lighting to make sure it looks really nice. Just so you guys know, when I'm lighting my videos, I always like to have the light coming in from a 45-degree angle onto my face, kind of creating depth and shadows in this part of my face. For the most part, I always just use a key light, and then I'll use kind of an accent light like you see in the background there, just to kind of create a little bit more depth in the room. For these videos, I absolutely never use a fill light. I never use a hair light or anything like that. I always just use a key light. And in this instance right now, you can see my light behind me. I'm just using outside. I'm using my window outside with my curtains kind of covering a little bit, trying to shape the light a little bit to come onto my face. But we're not talking about lighting today. If you guys do want me to talk about lighting in another video, I can definitely do that. But today we are going to be talking about how I color graded my 4K to 1080 video, because everybody loves that. Everybody thought it was really cool, so I wanted to make sure I made a video for you guys. Now, one of the things in this video is I teach you guys how to do it, but if you guys don't feel like going through all the work of having to do it, create a LUT and do all that stuff, I did create a LUT and I am selling it, so I'm going to leave the link to that in the description. Even if you did do all this, if you did just want to support me, you could definitely do it that way. It's only a few bucks. And one more thing just to keep in mind, this is a LUT. This isn't the answer to every single video that you're going to use. Your videos look different than my videos look different than your videos. So just keep in mind, even when you apply this LUT, you're probably going to have to do some tweaking and stuff like that to make sure it fits your video, your lighting, and everything like that. But enough of me mumbling on, guys. Let's just get into it. Alright guys, so we are going to be color grading this video in Lightroom. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to export a frame from Adobe Premiere Pro, and we're going to bring it into Lightroom, and we're going to do all the color grading there. Now, I made a video on how to create a LUT from Lightroom, so I'm not going to be teaching that in here. I'll leave that right up here in the little info card there, and you can click on that video so that you can create a LUT in Lightroom and bring it into Premiere. So like I said, I'll leave that right up here so you can take a look at that. I'll also leave a link to it in the description. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I have my clip already in the timeline, just like I would if I was going to start editing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to export a frame, and I'm just going to export the very first frame from this video. So as you can see, we have this little camera here. If you don't see that, what you can do is you can go to the button editor, and you should see it right there. You just take that, you drag it over, and you're good to go. I'm just going to click export frame, and I'm going to name this color grade. I'm going to save it to my desktop and click OK. So if we go to my desktop right now, you can see we have it right there, color grade. So now I'm going to go into Lightroom, and we're going to import this. All right, so we've got it imported here. Now we're going to start editing to make the video color grade look like it did in my 4K to 1080 video. So the first thing that I usually do is I set my white balance. Now, because I'm going for a little bit more of an orange and teal look, I want the hue of this entire image to be a little bit cooler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eyedropper tool, and I'm just going to put it in a spot that's a little bit more orange, a little bit warmer, and that's going to cool it down a little bit. So once you've done that, again, we're just trying to match what I did in the 4K to 1080 video. So the next thing that I did was I went to my contrast, and I adjusted that, I believe, to around 24 just to give it that little extra contrast. Then I went to my highlights and put in 21. Now keep in mind, your video is obviously going to look different than mine, but these definitely help when you're color grading your videos and you want to give it that nice orange and teal look. Okay, from there, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the saturation tab, and we're going to put in 40, up the saturation a little bit. And that's it for this panel here. So we're going to scroll all the way down until we get to calibration. And this is kind of where the magic happens. So we're going to take the blue primary hue and we're going to bring it to -100. You can see already it gives it a really nice kind of blue hue in the background and the shadows. The highlights are still a little bit warm, which is fine, but in the shadows and the midtones, we've got a little bit more blue there. Then I'm going to go to the red primary and we're going to go to hue and we're going to bring that up to 100. And now you see that brings a little bit more of the orange color into our skin tones and a little bit more orange here. But for overall, we've got orange and teal going on here. Now, as you can see, this is extremely oversaturated. This isn't what the finished image is going to look like. But as far as color grading it, we are done. So all you have to do is export it as a LUT and bring it into Premiere. Like I said, I already made a video like that, so if you want to go check that out, so you can export this as a LUT and then come back to this video to see how we finish it. All right, so we are back in Adobe Premiere Pro right now, and the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create an adjustment layer. I'm going to take the adjustment layer, I'm going to drag it over to my clip, and I'm going to drag it across the duration of my clip. I'm going to make sure that the adjustment layer is selected. I'm then going to go to Creative, I'm going to go to Look, Browse, and I'm going to click on my desktop because that's where I have it, and I've named it HIGMV, which means how I grade my videos, LUT. I'm going to double click that, and that's going to apply it directly to the video. So again, as you can see, it's exactly the same as it was in Lightroom. It's too oversaturated, it's a little bit too much. You can use this if you like this. The thing about color grading is it's kind of subjective, so it's what really looks good to you. To me, this is a little bit too much. This is too oversaturated. So I'm gonna go back to the creative tab that's right here, and I'm gonna go to intensity, and I'm going to turn that down, probably to around, right around there. We'll say 50. So if I turn my adjustment layer on and off, you can see the difference. That's before and that's after. So we got a really nice orange and teal look, and it looks great. If you want it more intense, you could always bring that intensity slider up to 200, which looks absolutely terrible. So I hope you don't do that, or you could bring it a little bit lower if you want it to be a little bit more subtle. So I think probably around 50 is good for the look that I'm going for. It overall just looks a lot better, and that is how I do it, guys. All right, so let's get back to my face. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys got something from it. If you did enjoy this, please feel free to hit the like button below. It helps me. I think it works with the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that. The more likes that the video gets, the more YouTube shows off my video. So I'd really appreciate it if you liked it. Comment below and let me know what you thought, what you liked about the LUT, maybe what you didn't like about the LUT. I would definitely love to hear your guys' feedback. And guys, if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.